Right here, I'm with you. Go, give me that one. Give me that one. Give me that one here.
What's up, guys? Okay, so just got done with a 2-day training stretch. We had pull yesterday, push today. Both those sessions have gone like every session that we've had since him and Dean have gotten down here, and that's been absolutely awesome. Having a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, all in all, it's been really good. What I wanted to talk about with you all was kind of give you all an update of what's gone on in the last month since he's gotten down here, because it's been very, very, very non-traditional in a lot of things that we've done. Absolutely, we couldn't have done unless he had eyes on me 3 times a day, every day, like he has since he's been down here. So, I guess the first one and, the biggest thing that we did was, pretty much immediately after he got down here, I had been training push-pull, arms, legs, off, so 4 days in a row, then 1 day off, and then repeating. And, off season when the food's high, that's one thing. But, with how big of a hole we put me in, we added an extra off day in after the push day. So it was push-pull, off, then arms, legs, off. And, we were really able to pull my food down low on the extra off day and make it a high cardio day, but let my body recover. So that made a big difference. And then I'm going to let him talk about what we did, did to really push. Because, at the end of the day, I think we lost, 15 to 18 pounds in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that. But
yeah, we made a pretty significant move.
Probably start from when we were in California. Him and I went out to California for Wolfpack at 5 weeks out.
Yeah, somewhere around 5
and I was 281 in the morning when we went out there.
Yeah, so we held as much size as we could for as long as we could. We were chipping away, but even early on in the prep, Hunter was responding pretty well to even the food dip. His body was kind of started to go into overdrive and really respond and even grow in the first phase of our prep. And then we got to say we're 5-6 weeks out, so we said, okay, let's now make a move and really pull you down, because that weight was sticking and holding. So in a good way, it was a very good way. The density was there. So
we started prep at 16 weeks out at I think 287, 288 fasted, and then at 5 weeks out we were still 281 fasted, but we were night and day in terms of leanness. Not anywhere near contest ready, but night and day in terms of start and finish, and only 5 pounds off. So
yeah, we pulled the pin basically at that point. Ramped up the cardio twice a day on that. Food came down, and then we were using it. This is where the beauty of how meticulous Hunter is with his logbook, and something that actually worked in our favor very, very well, because it allowed us to keep an eye on his training performance, and we could stay in that hole and that deficit for a little longer. Whereas if I'd have been remote and I'd seen the weight drop in and the visual, I might have actually pulled him out of the deficit a little sooner than we did. But where the numbers were actually improving in the gym, where Dean, Hunter and I started training together and started really getting stuck into those numbers, and I was keeping an eye on the training performance. And that's a big indicator when you're dealing with somebody with this kind of size, that amount of muscle tissue. Performance can be a huge indicator of whether you're retaining that muscle tissue or not. So actually his performance in the gym was actually improving by pretty significantly actually. So it allowed us to stay in that.
There's no way that I was burning up muscle tissue and progressing the logbook. So while the weight was dropping at a rate that would have been beyond alarming if we were working remotely, and this is the kicker, I looked like hammered dog shit for those 3 weeks. Like, so bad, so flat. And it was because of the logbook and those numbers holding that we were really able to push through it. I was able to stay locked in mentally because, I'm pretty pragmatic about things. I know that I'm not losing muscle tissue if the numbers are holding. I know that flat's fixable in, 36 hours for me, and that it's part of getting in shape. So, having that logbook and being able to use it as a tool was really, really cool. Something I got to say about him, and, shout out to him, is I've always been an athlete all my life. I've always played sports, and I've always been blessed with really good coaches. So, growing up and even now, what makes me mentally tick is, performing for those that, I want to perform for and care about me. People like Ben, people like Liv, people like Dean now. It's like I want to show out for the people that show up for me. So, him just kind of learning that about me and really learning, what makes me tick. It goes beyond just like a nuts and bolts, coaching relationship. We talk about it, it's not about the X's and O's all the time. It's about the Johnnies and Joes too. You can game plan all you want, but if you don't know the psyche of the people you're working with, it's not going to work. So, it's been really impressive to me. I got to tip my hat to him, having him down here. It's been very cool dynamic to have unfold for us.
Yeah, actually on that point, like I say, I have 2 athletes down here that are getting after it, and what makes them tick are 2 different things. I can push him one way and push you in a different way, or I need to push you in a different way to get the best out of you. And like I said, you're a performance guy and you enjoy performing in the gym. So taking that away from you, we can hit some sticking points there, and things don't feel right.
Yeah.
And then I'm a big believer in the body will follow where the mind is at. So keeping this, knowing what makes him tick as an athlete, knowing what makes Dean tick as an athlete, those are the things and the little edges that I'm trying to look for and bring our best out in these guys. And if you can do that, it makes the suffering that we all expect and are used to, it makes it bearable and worth it and enjoyable, in fact. So
we're having fun doing this shit, man. Like when they got here was when I really started posing, 3 rounds, 2-3 times a day. And I'll call it what it is. I was gasping. I had fucking tears rolling out of my eyes half the time. It was so terrible. But, like now we get to the point where, we got our little routine. We'll show up to the gym. Dean and I will knock out our cardio. And then, we'll pose and we'll just be like Night at the Roxbury, head bobbing to the dubstep, getting it done with smiles on our faces, even though it fucking hurts, just because, we're in our zone, we're in our lane, we're vibing, we know what we're working for, and everything's clicking. So it's exciting right now. It's really fun. I know I sound like a broken record saying I'm having fun doing this, but fuck everyone if they don't like that. I'm having fun doing this. So
yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and just like I say, learning each individual and then having the dynamic as it is. It's that team environment. Bodybuilding can get. A lot of people like it for that individual thing, and they like putting their head down, and that's cool and that works. I've done that myself, and I do thrive in that. But actually, when you've got 2 of these guys and they're going head to head, and like I say, when they're posing round next to each other, and I mean, this is Dean's 6th show, so he turned this year. So Dean turned up in posing shape, and that pissed Hunter off. So it was very useful. Because then he had to play catch up.
I'd be sitting there staring at him holding his shit. He's significantly leaner than me. He's always that way to me, so I'm sitting there staring at his fucking striated ass, gasping for air. Yeah, it pushed me for sure. Iron sharpens iron.
And it was a situation that I wouldn't have been able to recreate on my own. Even if it was just one-on-one with Hunter and I couldn't have recreated that and pushed him. The competitor came out in him. That was then the key to it. And
people say it's not a team sport. I don't care who you are or how bad you think you are. You're not going to go as hard as you are if you're doing it with someone. It's just brass tacks, in my opinion. But, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a ride.
Whew. Anything else?
Oh, really?
I'm proud of you. You talked. You did it. You did it, Bruce. Don't leave me hanging. Okay, guys. So I'm about to inhale my Pride Foods cream of rice. Shout out to Sean. He's a G. He's been sending us drums this whole prep, and we've been eating drums of it this whole prep. But yeah, so we'll get this one up, and we're taking a team to Vegas. We'll do another video or two before we get to Vegas, but definitely planning on doing a lot of content out of the house in Vegas, giving you all the inside peek at just what goes on that week, and just. It's going to be a really fun week. It's going to be a really intense, focused week, and it's going to be a week where both of us have a whole year's worth of work come to fruition. So, really looking forward to it. Looking forward to having you all on. See you all next time.